So the reason why I love the Turo app, not sure if I've said this in the past, but it runs off the base of the idea of social credit. And this is why I don't choose sides in political beliefs, because I've experienced both sides of the argument, and the thing is that because of my tattoos, because of my financial income, because how I dress, a lot of business people, a lot of people in life pass judgment on me and leave me in a unfair, biased ability. Not to mention being treated as a second-class citizen when I'm trying to get a car rental from a rental place, or trying to buy a car, or trying to buy a house, and they base it off of credit and money. And I've always gotten mad about that, because it's like, I'm a good person. I'll pay my bill. I will, pay what you want me to pay. And you get denied because of your credit. But we all know that credit doesn't reflect your character or your morality or your trust. When I was young, someone stole my car. They weren't arrested, and they left enormous amount of damages. I didn't know veteran organizations existed. Supposedly USAA insurance, I didn't have the right coverage to cover something like that. I don't know. In order to make the repairs, and the biggest cost that I didn't know was replacing the keys, because when OnStar and the police tracked down the vehicle, they didn't get the person and they didn't recover the keys. So that means I had a car sitting in the parking lot that someone could just start back up and take off with. So that was an anxiety and a fear, on top of having PTSD and unable to sleep and anxiety and everything else. It was a lot to come get or to call and get a key replaced. Then it was the damages, the windows, and I couldn't even afford to begin to try to repair the interior, because even having the windows broken for a day with bad weather, if you don't have money, if you don't have skill or the experience of how to tape up a window, how to do things, there's going to be flaws, and rain and weather is going to get inside the vehicle and it's going to destroy things. It's going to start creating mold, water buildup, things like that. And so I struggled to make these repairs on unemployment, and in doing so, some bills went unpaid. One of the bills that went unpaid was the car payment. I was in a predicament. I was in a fucking damned if I do, damned if I don't situation, right? I have a vehicle that I can't drive because the windshield was smashed. So I can't drive it on the road, like smashed, like not cracked, like completely smashed. But I have to make payments on it. and I'm on unemployment, which means I know how much money I'm getting. I have to pay rent. I have to pay my cell phone. You got to pick and choose what's more important. I don't have anyone to call. I didn't have any family members. I didn't know veteran organizations existed to ask for help. This was all the way back in 2010. And so I fell behind on 2 payments. And come the 3rd payment, they repossessed it. I couldn't catch up. And the next thing led to the next, and I ended up homeless. Because you start giving up on things. You start drowning out the depression. I, put a down payment and got that vehicle as a reward, to reward myself, to feel good that I had, I think like $5,000 saved up from deployment, which is nothing. And that's because most of my money went to my significant other who had a child to take care of. And we all know military money is not like something you get rich off of. So I was happy. I was proud, right? Fort Hood was a mother. I got to Fort Hood after deployment. You're in the barracks for like a week or 2, especially if you don't already have like a family and on post housing and things like that. And my significant other came down and was at the hotel, and for like that first week trying to get around on Fort Hood in the summertime, I came back in June, walking, boy, if anyone's been there, it was like being back in Iraq, honestly. Like, you're talking about walking in scorching heat for an hour to get from one place to the next. Like, you're not getting from the barracks to the chow hall or to the stores. You're just not. And again, money, but I have a bunch of money to waste on taxi, because they didn't have Ubers and Lyfts back then. Who was going to do all that? So, long story short, it was a sense of pride. I felt good. I went to the dealership and I got myself a car that I liked, that I was proud of, that was cool, sporty. And after everything that went down at Fort Hood, after being honorably discharged, finding myself on unemployment, living in a poor community because you don't have a lot of money. I didn't transition to a good paying job. I didn't even know to go to the VA or ask for help or anything. And being a white boy and being in the predicament, I was a target and became a victim of crime. And I didn't threaten to kill no one. I didn't fight nobody. I didn't go after anybody. I didn't seek revenge. I just turned the other cheek and did the best that I could do. I didn't have anybody to lift me up. I didn't have nowheres to store the vehicle. At that point, I've lost everything. And so as we move forward 10, 15 years later, trying to put the pieces back together, when you check my credit to get a new vehicle, to support my family, to get appointments, things like that, you're judging me based on credit when my credit doesn't resemble my morality or my trust. I had a hard time. Is there forgiveness? Is there, understanding, empathy? No, not when it comes to classism. It's shut up, figure it out, be a man, turn the other cheek, move forward, And that's what I've done, right? I've never used any situation or any struggle to have an excuse to take advantage of anyone, to deal. I've had opportunities, right? Living in poor communities, or if you seek to buy some cannabis for relief before they had the medical, people offer you things. I never once jumped on an opportunity. I'm not delivering drugs. I'm not buying bulk and then divvying it up and selling it for extra money. I'm not doing anything that's going to risk my life because I have severe PTSD. I cannot be put in a cage. I cannot be around constant threat. That would literally kill me. I'm not made for that. So I just did what I had to do. So anyways, I appreciate Turo and I appreciate the people that allow me to use their vehicle. I do my best. I'll take care of it. I'll treat it like I'm driving a Humvee in the military and I'm responsible for the checks, right? You got to do the checks and balances. You got to check the tires. You got to, treat it with care. You got to do everything that you need to do, right? Return it on time. Do your checklist. We had to go through a checklist, like the fuel, the radios, operations, because you do not want to get outside that gate on deployment with 5 guys and your sergeant who's going to beat your, you know what I'm saying? And have something go wrong. The tire fucking comes off, not enough fuel, radio's not work. I mean, you don't want to be in that predicament. So anyways, I have tattoos because I'm a disabled veteran. I've been through war. My love and dedication to my wife. I love doing art through art therapy. I'm learning skills, and I went to college for art, and I'm just a very expressive, creative veteran who wants to share his story, who's focused on recovery, and that's who I am. And I may not resemble that. So people tend to judge me, not trust me. Then you got the credit side, and sometimes you can beat yourself up. But anyways, I have good reviews on the Turo app for my using the vehicles. Every one of them, I make sure I put the extra effort to clean them, to take care of them as I ride them, to follow the speed limits. I never once caused anyone to have tickets. Yeah, so I appreciate it, and just wanted to share that with people.